their key.
I think another key factor, Kyle, is North Carolina, given the circumstances of late, hungry for a big, emphatic win, right? They, I think, want to put up an exclamation mark on their schedule as they get to the tail end of this non-conference schedule.
And one positive for him, Paulina Paris, ball in her hands right now, back in the lineup for Courtney Banghart.
And puts it in with a soft left off the window.
The inconsistent lineup, or because of so many injuries that they've dealt with. Nothing too serious, at least since the season's gotten started. But Paris, a key player last year's team, not in there the last few games.
Western Carolina averaging about 58 points per game. Scoring has not been their strong suit so far in this season, and the shot clock winding down. A steal. Ustby trying to save it from going out of bounds. It'll stay with the Catamounts.
Everybody took off up the floor, started to run. Got to have somebody to get that outlet pass, though. Catamounts are going to have a tough time finding offense tonight, one-on-one. They're going to have to run some set plays, get some screens to open some things up.
Zenoria Cruz with it. They call her Zoe. Driving against Deja Kelly. Gives back outside. There's Wooten. Thought about the three. Now back for Cruz. Little ghost screen. Nice one drawn up, but Tamori Planton is stuffed at the rim. Lexi Donarski trying to feed Gakdeng down low. And it's knocked away and stolen by Western Carolina.
It's a good job getting back on defense by Planton after having her shot blocked.
And Ustby with another block. She's going to lead the break herself. Donarski for three, and it rolls off.
Carolina has struggled from deep outside of Lexi Donarski.
Here's Cruz for three, back iron, and a quick one and done for the Catamounts. Paris ahead of steam, goes to the high post. Gakdeng double covered, and she's stopped.
Both teams really sloppy offensively to the start of this one.
Jada Burton, the point guard for this team, gives it down low. That was a look for Planton off the bottom of the backboard. Numbers for North Carolina. Deja Kelly, the three, rips the net.
It's a player who we haven't mentioned yet, but is the leading scorer for Carolina. Only player in double figures every game.
That's her 9th make from deep this season, 9 of 32, a low percentage by her standards, not quite 30% from beyond the arc. Here's Tamori Planton again. Tried to go back outside, it's stolen by Kelly. Tar Heels on the move. Nice dribble, Kelly finds Ustby, a spin and a bank in.
Too easy for those two. This is their 4th year now playing together. Don't even need to communicate verbally to know where each other are going to be.
Behind the back dribble. Corner three skips over for Wooten. Ustby again breaking herself. Back pass. Paris's three is in.
It's a good sign for Carolina. Paris 2 for 2 to start this one off, and the Tar Heels with a couple of players that have hit a three.
And still holding Western Carolina scoreless to this juncture. Wooten working with Burton. Now underneath. Planton, they've keyed in on her a lot. Have not been able to get one of those deep shots open. One to shoot. Cruz loses her handle, and it will stay with the Catamounts, but a shot clock violation instead.
The Paris three. How about Ustby getting the rebound and then running the break on that one? Carolina has struggled so much from beyond the three-point line, but Paris, a player now back out there, can help to see that field goal percentage rise.
Ustby, plenty of room, puts up the mid-range, just off the front side. Audrey Myers sends it over to the corner, long two, bounces over. Paris the board, looking ahead for North Carolina.
Good job by the Catamounts to find that open player. Got to get some defense, though.
Zipped right through Gakdeng's hands and out of bounds, so it gives it back to Western Carolina.
Paris probably should have just taken that one herself. Defense never collapsed, and that's what she was anticipating.
Burton across the timeline for the Catamounts. Burton to the high post. Lenasia Brewer there with it. It's Wooten's way. Covered up well by Donarski. It's to Myers. Nice shot from mid-range. First bucket for Western Carolina.
A little bit of push there by Myers, but got away with it. So good job getting that separation.
Head fake by Deja Kelly. Double covered at the post. Out for Donarski. The three is in. 40% on the season. That's her first make from beyond the arc.
The Catamounts have done a good job of shutting down that drive, but they're not falling back on that defense. You've got to rotate around if you're going to double.
No window to shoot for Wooten.
And we've seen some pump fakes from Western Carolina. They get the ball, they've got to be ready to shoot right away.
Low Brewer with the shot made. Brings it back within 8. Ustby penetrating. Falling away from her defender, puts that one in.
She does such a good job of using that pivot foot and constantly moving to try and find an opening.
Lead back to double figures for the Tar Heels. Into the high post. Brewer again.
Trying to use some off-the-ball screens to get somebody open.
Turnover makes it North Carolina basketball with 4 minutes exactly left in the first quarter. Lexi Donarski getting in on the scoring, her first three.
To the last couple of minutes. I mean, you always want to defend your home court, right? What they want to fix is that 1 and 3 neutral. 2 of those, granted, against top 20 teams, but you get in the NCAA tournament, you're not going to have the luxury of being at home.
2 substitutions for North Carolina during the break, including Tiani Key, who gets her first minutes of the season. Deja Kelly misses offensive rebound, and it forces a foul. Couple of free throws coming for the Tar Heels.
Not only visually, she is taller than everybody else out there, but one of the best athletes on this Carolina team. Really going to be an interesting season for her if she can stay healthy, and that's a big if, Darren. Was healthy last year for Carolina, but basically had 2 years of basketball that she missed prior to that, high school, and then had the redshirt coming into Chapel Hill here.
The redshirt sophomore from Cary, North Carolina, nearby. Was 1 for 2, her first trip at the free throw line this season. Second chance after the offensive board. Kelly's 3, off back iron. Here's Key again, the spin, and banks it in. She's not even played a minute in this game. A couple of offensive rebounds and 3 points.
Just another day at the office, right? Nobody would have known it's her first game.
Paulina Paris, the steal in the run-up for the Tar Heels. Easy lay-in. And a timeout called by Western Carolina. Little run for the Tar Heels. 19-4 their lead in the first. $15-point lead for North Carolina. 3:17 left in the first quarter here at Carmichael Arena. A flurry for the Tar Heels. 7 consecutive points in the last minute and change. So a timeout for the Catamounts, and coming out of it, they'll try to run an offensive set successfully. Cruz bailed out by Jada Burton. Already down to 10 to shoot for Western Carolina.
And you know, Darren, the thing for the Catamounts is you go to the bench if you're Carolina. It doesn't get any easier out there, though.
Burton puts up a heave. Otherwise, it was going to be a shot clock violation. A board and a run-up. Indya Nivar out for Paulina Paris. The 3 no good. And it's chased into the corner by Anya Poole with a whistle and a foul call.
When I say it doesn't get any easier, Anya Poole is a 3-year starter for Carolina, but this season coming off the bench in a different role for this team with Maria Gakdang joining the team. And between freshmen and transfers, Courtney Banghart's roster from top to bottom is all 4-star plus recruits.
Yeah, it is as deep as the Tar Heels have been in her time as the head coach, it feels like, which is why you challenge yourself with the tough non-conference schedule that they've had, and you expect so much out of this group.
I joked with her early this season. I said, you know, I feel like in the first 3 years when we have this conversation, it's the same players, right? Deja Kelly, Anya Poole, Alyssa Ustby, but it's who are you going to have that can help those players out? And there's a little bit added every single year. Well, this season it was, how are you going to find minutes for everybody?
How about this bounce pass? Paulina Paris to Deja Kelly. It's in for 3, unlike her first, which we thought was a 3, but she had her foot on the line.
Says, no matter, I'll make sure this one's clear.
5 points for Deja Kelly on 2 of 4 from the field now.
Carolina bench has got to love seeing 3 of 6 from beyond the arc so far.
Wooten to step back off of the handoff. That shakes out. Paris to the corner. 3 left short by Nivar.
That's a great find, though, in transition.
Wide open, and an easy lay-in for Myers of Western Carolina.
Good job by the Catamounts. Catch Carolina sleeping. They didn't get back on defense.
Nivar, nice crossover, and then with the left.
Started while Paris was out and really impressed in a couple of games. Nivar, the more she gets comfortable being back home, I think she's going to be an impact player.
Forces a steal there defensively. Underneath. Too far under the basket, but a foul, and a couple more free throws on the way for Tiani Key.
Great job running the court there by Key, and Nivar finding her in transition. Good pass that she could take in stride.
Key was 1 for 2 her first time at the line, as Deja Kelly, Paulina Paris will get a breather for the Tar Heels. You mentioned last year for Tiani Key, her first back after a couple of seasons, 59% from the line then.
You see the rotation on the ball. Has a really nice touch on her shot.
Tomorrow's featured college basketball matchups on ACC Network include Virginia Tech hosting Vermont in Blacksburg at 4 Eastern, and then Virginia squares off against Northeastern. Now a 20-point lead for North Carolina as we close out the first quarter. Underneath. Tough take. Through a couple of defenders. Offensive rebound for the Catamounts, and into the backcourt it goes to turn it back over to North Carolina.
Just could never get the ball back under control. Good job rotating over defensively by the Tar Heels. Key coming over after Poole switched on that screen. That's something Carolina, because of the athleticism, they're able to do 1 through 5.
No shot clock for North Carolina here. Sydney Barker running point. Goes underneath, back out to the corner. Here's Key for 3. Short on it. Another chance for North Carolina. And no good, but a successful first period for the Tar Heels. They lead it by 20 over Western Carolina. You know, as Western Carolina is back in Carmichael Arena to face the Tar Heels tonight. Courtney Banghart's first victory as the head coach of North Carolina was against Western Carolina. It was also the first loss for Kylie Hill, the head coach of Western Carolina. They got hired in the same offseason.
Kind of neat that, you know, first time as the head coach for each program, they were able to go ahead and play against each other. And now year 4 for them, looking to see the progress that each has made.
I mean, certainly the progress is very notable for North Carolina since Banghart took over. Just in terms of
back inside the top 25 every single year, making runs in the NCAA tournament. Even though it doesn't show on the screen there, Catamounts had a pretty good year last year in terms of their program.
Yeah, most wins for them since 2014, a season ago.
And as a young head coach for a program, that's what you're looking for, right? Just year-over-year growth.
Chelsea Wooten with her first make, meanwhile. And then an answer the three from the corner.
Great ball movement from Carolina. Got that ball up court before the defense could because it never hit the floor.
Indya Nivar cashes in on her second attempt from three. She's got 5 points. And it will go back to North Carolina.
Yeah, I'll tell you one of the other things. I'm looking around. It's a random Friday night. School is out as the college. When I say school, I think grade school is still in. But this building has got a lot of people in it. And before Courtney took over, that wasn't the case, even for big-time games, let alone a team where you're playing outside of your conference, outside of the top 25.
Nivar gets it right back from the high post. A whistle off the ball, though. And that's going to go against Western Carolina on Tamori Planton. That's her first. Donarski goes right back to Nivar. From 15 feet away, it's in.
Nivar from Apex, about 40 minutes from here. Probably a little surprised that she got stolen, at least for a year. Stanford is where she originally committed.
Loose ball out of bounds. It'll stay with the Catamounts.
Had an impact as a freshman, and I think being here at Chapel Hill, you're back home, essentially. Much more comfortable. She's going to be a player to watch for the next couple of years.
Wooten gets it right back. Just 2 points for her so far. Bailey Trum gives in the high post. Gokdang got in the air on the pump fake. It's a block. Anyway, Anya Poole, I believe, got her hand on it. Transition look. Donarski, the three, rolls off. A tap back and a foul on Indya Nivar.
Gonna get her over the back. Like the aggressiveness, just came flying in. Didn't have positioning. How about the help defense from Carolina? Even when Planton makes a move, gets Gokdang in the air, you still got to deal with somebody down low.
Cruz penetrates out. An open look is buried for three. That's the first for Wooten from that range.
Finally able to get the defense to collapse and find an open shooter.
Barker hands Donarski. A head fake. Now they'll go down to Gokdang. Double teamed briefly. Out to Barker, who shuffled her feet before taking off with the basketball.
A lot of times when you're not 100% on what you're going to do, that's the call that'll come. And you saw a little hesitation. Should I shoot? Should I dribble? Defender came out.
Just the fourth turnover for North Carolina compared to Western Carolina's 8. Cruz calling for the screen. Met by Gokdang. Goes back out. Planton. A long two. Misses.
It's a good job finding an open shooter. Those are shots, though, that Western Carolina needs to knock down.
Good change of speed for Barker, but the pass attempt out to the perimeter tipped out of bounds. Alexandra Zelaya making her first appearance of the evening as she grabs Anya Poole. Zelaya Down low, Gakdeng, soft left, puts it through.
She won that one before the ball even got to her. Did a great job sealing that defender off and getting deep.
Clanton left to her own devices. Pass tipped away. Donarski nearly came up with a steal. From down to the baseline. Cruz rips it in.
Good job quickly finding an open player with numbers there.
And Nivar with an and one on the other end.
There's a couple of times in this quarter alone where Carolina has run the court so well after a make from Western Carolina. Just the latest example, and you gotta love anytime you see somebody finishing through contact.
Cruz charged with the personal foul. That's her second. And Indya Nivar with a chance at a three-point play. She's got 9. This would make her the first to double figures. Too strong. But a 22-point lead for North Carolina. Trum finds Cruz. An opening on the baseline, and she gets a bucket with a foul.
Nice little move. Zelaya a little late. The help wasn't there. It's a good job of being aggressive, putting your head down, getting to the basket.
Cruz 72% on the season. And it shakes through to complete the three-point play. Asia Kelly back in for North Carolina. Quickly up the floor. Gives it to Ustby, who just re-entered as well. Out Donarski, quick release. Back iron from the rebound, looking up the floor for Western Carolina. Cruz gets the handoff. Too strong on the layup attempt. To tip out. Offensive rebound for Western. Wooten for 3. And Zelaya the defensive board. Quick transition. Ustby down low. Gakdeng against Robinson. Blocked initially. Second chance. Leaves it short. Ustby an offensive rebound. Throws it off target. And back to the Catamounts it goes.
Good job getting that offensive rebound. Maybe force that one up instead of kicking it out and resetting.
Cruz into the lane. Out for Wooten, who has to go up and get it. Otherwise might have had a quick window to shoot the 3. Robinson had it knocked away. Donarski was there with a hand, and it's off of Robinson to give it back to North Carolina. Under 5 to play in the second quarter. A 19-point lead for the Tar Heels.
Throughout the year, and as they get healthier, the offensive side, sometimes you just have to knock down shots, and we've seen them early in this game knock down some open shots, but have gotten a little bit cold here as of late.
Chelsea Wooten, the leading scorer for Western Carolina, able to get one of those threes to fall here in the second quarter. She gets the defensive rebound for the Catamounts there. Here's another long attempt, and that one rolls in for 3. Audrey Myers with her first make from distance.
I like Cruz running the point. She's helped to create a couple opportunities offensively.
Alyssa Ustby trying for the answer. Little baby hook. And she made that look easy. That's a tough angle to release that.
She did, but that's kind of what she likes. That's her game, right? The ugly shot is where she's most comfortable.
Western Carolina outscoring North Carolina in this second quarter by 2 points.
Cruz has done a lot of that, being able to get to the bucket, which has either created an opportunity for a kick out or a layup herself, even though she can't get it to go. But they've also taken care of the ball. They had 7 turnovers in the first quarter.
And Myers with a block on Ustby there. Back for the Catamounts. Wooten will slow it down. Here's Cruz again. Drum pulls back the reins and will find Cruz, who, like you said, has been the initiator a lot in this second quarter for the Catamounts. A bounce, Myers. Back out, long two, Cruz. Misses, and Ustby squeezes for North Carolina. Picked up a dribble though.
Brewer battling down there for the offensive board, just had no help.
Ball movement quickly gets it down low for North Carolina. Gakdeng through traffic banks it in.
Great job just backing down the defender.
Four points for Maria Gakdeng now, 2 of 6 from the field. Bailey Trum against Lexi Donarski. Gives it up. Catamounts unable really to penetrate in this possession. Brewer, a dribble, buries the mid-range. And Western Carolina keeping up with the Tar Heels in this second. Kelly able to get really close to the basket. The miss, Gakdeng, the rebound and the follow.
That's a tough one if you're Western Carolina, because you've played so much better and you've cut into the lead even a little bit. You get a stop, you can't give up the easy rebound and offensive points.
Back to a 20-point lead for North Carolina. Myers tied up, but gets it to Wooten. Back for Myers. Ugly miss. Ustby there for the rebound for North Carolina. That's her 5th board. Running the break herself. Hesitation on the pass to Deja Kelly. Ustby offensive rebound. Block to block. Gakdeng was wide open.
You give up offensive rebounds, 9 now in the game, and it's going to end up really coming back to bite you.
There's Wooten for 3 and a 1 and done for Western. Donarski, Kelly, the tray skips over, and Myers battling as it knocked away out of bounds.
Second home game in a row that Deja has struggled from the floor for Carolina. Just 2 of 7 tonight. Check that, make it 2 of 8 with that last miss.
And with half of those coming from 3-point distance, she's 1 of 4 from 3. And to the larger point of the shooting that just hasn't quite clicked for North Carolina, she's a big part of that. Only about 26% from 3 this season.
Yeah, but at the same time, she's come up big when they've needed her to.
Key, the back pass in transition following the steal. Ustby a step into the lane and banks it in.
It's like a running back being patient behind the offensive line.
Like waiting for the hole to open. Alyssa Ustby runs for the first down and gives North Carolina its largest lead of the night at 24. Closing in on the half. Bailey Trum for Western against Kelly.
No movement. Everybody's standing around for the Catamounts.
Wooten chucks up the 3, and time runs out. Kelly didn't get it off. It wasn't going to get to the rim anyway. And North Carolina finishes on a 6-0 run. It's a 2-minute scoring drought for Western Carolina headed into the locker room. 24-point lead, the largest of the night for the Tar.
Banger. She'd tell you, you know, it's nice to have those records years 1 and 2, but you're playing different competition. And that goes to the conversation we had about the growth of the program now in year 4. You're not trying just to go out there and get feel-good wins. You're trying to go out there and measure yourself against the best of the best, because that's where you want to be.
And it took all of 7 seconds to get on the board in the second half for Alyssa Ustby. An easy lay-in. She is the first player into double figures with 10.
You say you spoke too loudly. She heard you say nobody's in double digits.
Cruz for Western Carolina, who really initiated a lot of their offense when it got going. Jada Burton slips a pass in, and a missed field goal attempt for Tamori Planton.
That was a great bounce pass from Burton. Little give and go to get some opening.
Paulina Paris, the look for three, misses wide. Dinarski, the extra effort. Offensive rebound, extra pass. Ustby to Maria Gakdang for the basket.
I could see Ustby finding Gakdang before Paris even got her the ball. Great vision.
Cruz trying to handle it herself. Gakdang leads Ustby for an easy lay-in for two, and it is the half-century mark for North Carolina, 51-21. 6 consecutive points to begin the third quarter. A timeout called by Kylie Hill, the head coach of Western Carolina. We've discussed on a couple of occasions the impact of a few transfers on this North Carolina team. This is a look at their progress in their first years with the Tar Heels this season. Lexi Dinarski from Iowa State, Maria Gakdang from Boston College, Indya Nivar from Stanford.
And all three of them having impacts in this game, whether it be points for Gakdang and Nivar, rebounding from Dinarski, finding ways to impact this team every single game. And those three have been pretty consistently in the lineup for Courtney Banghart.
Catamounts with the basketball. Zenoria Cruz, a step back after the crossover. Nice bucket.
That was a smart play right there. Realized she had Kelly.
Quickly onto the other end of the floor. Dinarski after the pump fake on the three, the floater in.
That right there, transition basketball after the make, is where Carolina has been really, really the better team tonight, and it's separated them even more so.
Hands on defense. Ustby deflects it, and it's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Myers of Western Carolina. Backdoor Ustby, one dribble, all she needed to clear out some space. 14 points on 7 of 9 from the field for Alyssa Ustby now.
And just 14 minutes.
And she pokes it away from behind of Jada Burton. Otherwise, that might have been a pretty easy Catamounts lay-in.
In years past, she would have played every minute, if not overtime. I mean, that's how short their bench was.
Yeah.
But now with as many options as they have, able to give them some rest, I think that's really going to pay off for them late in the year. The legs will be fresher.
Chelsea Wooten tried the handoff, knocked away. Ustby again a pest defensively on that one. Now a substitution for North Carolina. Tiani Key back in place of Maria Gakdang.
I'll tell you, Darren, one of the things that having that many options does, it cuts down on some minutes, but it also makes everybody that much hungrier. You know, look how efficient Key was in the first half when she got playing time, but ultimately only played for those 5 minutes.
After the Wooten miss on the three, Dinarski underneath. Ustby finds some space, finds Deja Kelly. The three rattles off. And a rebound by Lenasia Brewer. Catamounts with it. Back Cruz the three, too strong. Dinarski with another rebound. That's number 6 for her. And leading the break. That's a luxury for this North Carolina team, right? Whether it's Ustby, Dinarski, Kelly, any of them really, whoever gets a defensive rebound can quickly push it up the floor, if not take it themselves.
Yeah, earlier this season, I was talking with Coach Banghart and Kayla McPherson, Paulina Paris, Deja Kelly. There were 3 or 4 different guards that she said she wasn't sure if they were going to be able to play that night. I said, if that's the case, who's going to handle the ball for you? And her answer was essentially everybody. Like, everybody on our team can handle the ball, so I'm not worried about that. That's literally the one facet of the game I'm not worried about, she said.
Another offensive rebound for North Carolina. Ustby physical on the make.
And she gets the bucket there, but Ustby has 4 assists in the game. So there's a perfect example. She's run the break, but she's starting at the 4.
And to your point about the minutes too, Kyle, the shorter windows into a game demands more efficiency. Deja Kelly the steal, a 3-on-2 for Carolina, and Kelly lays it in herself.
Yeah, got to make the most of your opportunity.
With that in mind, we talked about Ustby, 16 points, 8 of 10 shooting, 7 rebounds, and now just 16 minutes. Tipped pass by Paris. Brewer. Nice little arsenal of offensive weapons. Didn't hit the shot there, but got herself open. Key fumbles the pass. It was knocked away out of bounds and will stay with North Carolina.
A little late giving that one up. If you're Ustby, either go up with that, and that's what Key was saying, was go up with it. I'm here for the rebound. If you're going to give it up by the free throw line. Once you get into the paint, you got to just take it yourself.
They go to Ustby in the high post. Paris, Kelly, the 2. Key an offensive rebound. That's 3 for her on the game. Had it knocked away. Ustby there, though. And she'll take it herself, although the layup attempt is short, and Tiani Key is floored by Eva Keelar.
Keelar wasn't going to let her get that offensive rebound. Not after seeing her get one. He's just shoving her out of the way.
Yeah, that has to be what that was about. Ustby down low against Brewer. Too strong.
Smart play by Ustby to spin away from the help side defense, but Key should have stayed up top. She brought that help D down.
Cruz got through Kelly, lost her handle, and it goes out of bounds. Looks like it'll stay with Western Carolina, but a timeout on the floor as North Carolina leads by a lot, 34 to be exact, 4:50 left in the third.
Summertime 2 years ago, Alyssa Ustby played with Team USA. A little bit banged up last year coming into the year. This season had the same opportunity. Said, no, I'm going to take off the summer. I want to be healthy going into the year. And, man, it is paying off. You see her out there tonight, almost a double-double already. 16 points, 8 rebounds, has chipped in 4 assists. A healthy Alyssa Ustby, not just in the beginning of the year, Darren, but the end of the year especially, going to be huge for this Carolina team if they want to get where they want to go.
North Carolina leading big time over Western Carolina. Another in-state non-conference opponent being welcomed here at Carmichael Arena. 3 to shoot. Denoria Cruz heaves it up, and Tiani Key there for another rebound for North Carolina. She's got 5 boards. Ustby on the other end, tried with her left. Tiani Key, her 4th offensive rebound, back out. Donarski's 3 is out of bounds. Gives it back to the Catamounts. Man, Tiani Key in her first action of the season.
First action of the season, yeah.
5 points, 6 rebounds in 8 minutes. I mean, what a piece, what an addition that could be.
And you can tell why when she came to Chapel Hill 3 years ago now, they were so excited about this freshman. 6'4", lanky, athletic, and then unfortunately got hurt in that secret scrimmage and missed her whole freshman year. And then last year was kind of, as Coach Banghart says, just kind of getting her feet underneath her and getting used to playing basketball again, because it wasn't just that freshman year. She missed her senior year too when she was in high school. So they are super excited about what the potential for a full year now for her will be.
Cruz running the point, beat up by Indya Nivar, had it ripped away. Nivar, the look ahead. Here's Paris, and it's in for 2.
Tar Heels up to 19 points off of turnovers now.
Brings a slight scoring drought for North Carolina, though. In the last 2.5 minutes, they've scored 6 straight with no Catamounts points. Western Carolina's going to get a timeout here.
Well, if you were with us during halftime, you heard that interview with Donarski, and she talked about defense. Said Mom and Pop were both defensive players, so I couldn't get off not playing one end of the court. Even though they're up by as much as they are, great defense there and forces the timeout because of it.
No plays off for Lexi Donarski, that is for sure. Struggling a little bit, 1 of 6 from 3. That really her forte offensively, but a couple of assists, 6 rebounds for her.
But you know, as a coach, I think that's what you're looking for. Shooters are going to have off nights where it's just not falling for them. Do you let that get you down, or do you find other ways to impact the game? She finds other ways to impact the game. That's why she also said she had tons of people and coaches contacting her. Everybody saw what kind of player she was. They wanted her on their team. Can't imagine what kids go through with that nowadays.
Yeah.
Great to have that freedom to be able to move around and transfer, but you better be ready to handle that whirlwind.
Another steal for Indya Nivar. Leads to another possession for North Carolina here. Paulina Paris running the point. Down low, Key.
Good hands.
Grabs it, floats it up through contact. Doesn't hit, but impressive athleticism just to do what she did there.
Yeah, that's one where I think when they're in the tape room, you say, great job saving it, kick it back out. As soon as the entry pass wasn't there, reset.
Cruz sneaks it through defenders. Another nice bounce pass. Brewer no good on the jumper. Tar Heels quickly go down low. Anya Poole against Brewer, straight up. Brewer knocked it away, but there was some contact.
Got her on the wrist. At least she got a piece of the ball, but got part of the wrist too.
Myers and Burton back in for Western Carolina. This week's featured women's college basketball matchup on ACCN Sunday. Number 14 Notre Dame squares off against Purdue at the Joyce Center. Coverage begins at noon Eastern. Again, that's ACCN and streaming on the app. Two-for-two trip at the line for Anya Poole makes it an even greater lead for North Carolina to 38 points.
Yeah, we talked in the open how this was a game that Carolina kind of had to win, right? Just because you're coming off of a loss 4 of the last 5, and you've got a tough one out in Charlotte that's on deck. Being at home, had to come out and win this, and to put on the performance they have, I think the coaching staff going to be very happy.
Poole catches under the basket and is whacked by Wooten on her way up, so she'll go back to the free throw line. Kyle, I think you mentioned Tuesday against Oklahoma at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, the last non-conference game before ACC play for this North Carolina team. That feels important for them, right? I mean,
yeah.
you want to be at a point where, yes, the non-con was very difficult. You've got some really good teams that you played but came up short against in the early going here. You want to be able to notch that one and say, hey, we've got a Big 12 victory under our belt, because otherwise, you know, what does the conversation then become? Well, we played some good teams, but our best non-con victory was Davidson.
Yeah, so what's the point of playing the tougher schedule? Right, you're learning some things about yourself, but you definitely want to win some of those games. And even though it's a quote-unquote neutral site, it's kind of like their game that they just had against Connecticut. It's not in their university stadium,
right?
But it's in the state where you're from. It's a home game for the Tar Heels. It's a game I think they should win. And I mentioned that UConn game because they played in Connecticut. It just wasn't on UConn's campus.
Donarski short on the 3, offensive board. Anya Poole to follow and the cleanup. That's an area where North Carolina has been really, really good in this one, as they're now on a 13-2 run.
Almost more offensive rebounds for the Tar Heels than the Catamounts have total rebounds.
Myers with under 10 on the shot clock. Touch foul on Key. That's her first, but she'll check out. Alexandra Zelaya back in.
And I'm sure she's got a minute limit, being the very first game that she's in this season.
Burton penetrates, finds Wooten an open look for three. Good job gathering that by Donarski after the tap by Poole. Wide open from mid-range. Miss for Donarski. It goes back to Western Carolina.
And you know she's got a bad night shooting when somebody who's considered a sharpshooter misses that badly from the elbow.
Cruz against Poole. Out, Myers the head fake, step back from the corner. Tough shot and gets it for two.
Nice shot from Myers there, created an opening for herself, then knocked it down in rhythm.
Myers is an impressive player. The senior, 6 feet tall, really can spread the floor.
She's played with some good aggressiveness.
Paris trying to close out the third quarter effectively, and we'll get a couple of free throws. Foul called against Cruz of the Catamounts. That's her third and the fourth for Western Carolina. So a couple of free throws here for Paulina Paris.
Been impressed with her in her first game back from injury. Talk about Key playing in her first game this year. Well, for Paris, especially early in this one, played really well.
First of two, gets a roll. That brings Paris's point total to 10. She's the third Tar Heel into double figures. Just the 6th free throw of the season for Paris there, but she's hit all of them. A 41-point lead for North Carolina heading into the fourth quarter. Tar Heels up big. Alyssa Ustby leading the way for North Carolina through three quarters. Yeah, doing the little swag surf in between periods. 16 points, 8 boards, 4 assists for Ustby, who's been all over the place.
Just another day at the office for her. Look at the points in the paint there, though.
Yeah, stark contrast, 42-6 for North Carolina. I mean, this has been the assertive performance that they really needed this to be.
Absolutely. Coming
out of losses in 4 of their last 5. Really difficult non-conference schedule. They've dealt with some injuries. Western Carolina not backing down just yet, though. Lexi Donarski got a hand on it, stole it away, a jump ball. And it goes back to North Carolina. So a deflection and effectively a turnover. Anya Poole in the high post, out, Indya Nivar. It's a screen from Poole. There's Zelaya for 3, and that's in.
Has never gotten a ton of minutes, but when she's in, she's a big who you've got to watch when she's out on the three-point line.
First take, first make of the night for Alexandra Zelaya. Timeout called by Western Carolina. 8:52 to play. And a 64-point lead, or excuse me, 44-point lead for North Carolina. A look at what's coming up in the near future on ACC Network. These two youngsters undoubtedly excited about these games. Couple of Notre Dame
Max
games.
and the Grinch is going to be on ACC Network? That's awesome.
How about Purdue, Notre Dame, Washington, Louisville, and Western Michigan, Notre Dame? So
those are pretty good games too, I guess.
A couple of chances to see the Fighting Irish. That was the last time out for Western Carolina, by the way. So they have none remaining And Chelsea Wooten heaves at the shot clock and got the three.
Sometimes you got to take the thinking out of it.
Aisha Kelly a pull up from mid-range.
She's been flat. Her shots have been flat tonight.
Another offensive rebound for North Carolina, though. They've had plenty of second chances with the basketball. Zelaya with 4 to shoot. Steps. Can't quite drop it in. Resets the shot clock. Poole fouled on her way back up. And lost a shoe even. So she'll get a couple of free throws once she gets that back on her left foot.
It's a desperation heave. Just get it somewhere near the goal and hope it goes in.
Her second make from 3. Chelsea Wooten, a dangerous shooter, streaky as she is, 2 of 10 from deep now. 2 shots for Anya Poole. She's now 4 of 5 with a 6th attempt on the way. Short, a tip out, another offensive rebound. Paris for 3. Banks it in. Just the second make from three-point land for the Tar Heels in this second half.
The law of averages. You get a desperation heave. We get a, I didn't hear Glass call, bank shot. Great job by Nivar to get a hand on that off the missed free throw to keep it alive.
Here's Wooten, tightly defended, and Deja Kelly comes up with the steal. Nice pass on the find. Paris, the beneficiary again.
Can't keep that ball in front of Kelly that often and that long. Too good defensively.
47 points the lead for North Carolina. This is as large as it's been tonight. And another steal. Zelaya goes ahead. Nivar had it knocked away by Wooten. It'll stay with the Tar Heels.
It was good defense by Wooten, though.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. One-on-one, she didn't even really have the angle, but found a way to get her hand in there. Nivar from the paint area.
Really like that call. They had her kind of wrap all the way around the defense, lose the defender on a couple of screens to get that little jump shot.
Nivar's got 11, another Tar Heel into double figures. She's 1 of 4, 16 for Ustby and Paris for them to lead the way. Here's Wooten again, ugly miss, too strong on the 3. It goes back to North Carolina. That's 16 points for Paulina Paris, a season high for her.
And very efficient, 6 of 8 from the floor. The only 2 misses were from deep or a couple at the free throw line. It's a nice game back.
Riley Grays has entered the game for North Carolina, the freshman forward. Down in the post on the right side of your screen. Key finds Alyssa Ustby. That's a nifty pass.
Using all 6'4" of that frame. Get around the defenders.
Catamounts go down low. Nice pass, but it's blocked. No good from Myers. Western Carolina regains it. Step back 3. Out of bounds. North Carolina basketball. Reagan Trum, not quite enough on that one. He fakes the handoff. It's into the paint. Ustby, offensive rebound. Can't hit the second chance. Keelar almost had it ripped away by Tiani Key, who forces the jump ball. Man, really, I mean, we've mentioned it a couple of times. Tiani Key, what she could potentially add for this team going forward.
You can see how hungry she is, right? Like, has been on the bench all season long up until this, has already missed enough time. She's out there, she's going 100%.
Myers has it knocked away, recollects. Here's Wooten with some space. Trum from the corner, floats it up, no good. Rebound and ahead of steam for Nivar. Nobody picked her up.
Brewer never turned around. Just face guarded Key.
And that pass goes out of bounds to give it back to North Carolina. Indya Nivar's got 13, and on that layup, she's now 6 of 7 from the field.
Just tried going too fast there, Western Carolina did.
Gray's back out. Kelly dribbles around her, gets into the lane, not enough on it. Gray's offensive rebound, and she gets in on the party. First bucket for Riley Grays, 2 points in just 2 minutes of action now.
20 offensive rebounds for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I mean, that is.
And they're shooting almost 50% to boot.
First career basket for the freshman Grays. Now defends Brewer. On the pass back out. Catamounts go back to Brewer outside. Myers left the 3 short. Tiani Key there for her 10th rebound of the game. Ahead, Ustby slips right through everybody.
Great cut, great look. Said it earlier. They've been together for 4 years. They don't need to communicate to know where each other are.
Can't recover to contest the shot well enough. Myers hits on the other end. But Deja Kelly making it look easy, getting deep underneath the basket.
She just can't buy a bucket, but
Ustby the steal, dumped down low. Grays banks it in. 6th assist for Alyssa Ustby. And another steal for North Carolina. That's their 14th. Nivar bounces to Key, gets it right back, and puts it in. Man, she has had some high percentage looks tonight, now 7 of 8.
And this is a tough spot for Western Carolina because they're out of timeouts. This is where, as a coach, call the timeout, regroup everybody, get them energized for the last 3 minutes. What are we going to work on? What are we looking for? But instead, they're just left out there right now.
Yeah, got to make do with a 20-2 run for the Tar Heels over the last not quite 5 minutes.
I don't really know that there's much that the coaching staff could do. You had to call the timeouts when they did to try and slow runs, regroup, whatever it may be.
Ustby another steal, 2-on-1, tries to take it herself and receives contact. Just pure dominance for North Carolina, and this is another one of those categories where that has been the case. This will be the 14th and 15th free throws of the day for the Tar Heels. Western Carolina's only gotten to the line for 1.
I think that just goes to show you the mentality of each offense. Western Carolina trying to work it around the perimeter, shooting from the outside. Carolina, the Tar Heels, really attacking the paint. You saw that in the points in the paint graphic we showed earlier.
Tomorrow's featured college basketball matchups on ACC Network include Virginia Tech hosting Vermont in Blacksburg at 4 Eastern, and then Virginia squares off against Northeastern. 1-for-2 trip at the line for Alyssa Ustby. Now a 60-point lead for North Carolina. And another Western Carolina turnover. No.
No, the side referee said it was going to stay with Western, and
yeah, there were
Catamounts all just went up court.
Yeah, there were some contradictory directional points there. Tar Heels basketball either way. Key. The mid-range is good too. 7 points for her. That's her second make.
Not just big, but she's got a nice soft touch on it.
Another Alyssa Ustby steal. And an easy lay-in. She's got 23 points.
She almost got another one.
Yeah, she's looking to jump those passes. Bailey Tron out. Looking for Cruz at the perimeter. It was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by North Carolina. Just 5 on the shot clock for the Catamounts. Ustby's going to check out for the Tar Heels. Anya Poole in and a big ovation.
Crowd doesn't know the line for her, but they know she's had a big game. 1 rebound away from a double-double. Kind of quietly flirted with a triple-double for a little while there.
And an offensive foul. Gray's a little aggressive, trying to free herself up down low. Final 71 seconds of play tonight. This is the beginning of a 3-game and 5-day stretch for Western Carolina. Tiani Key adding a block to her line and a shot in for Myers.
Not a bad game for Myers. 13 on 6 of 10 shooting.
Paris with under 10 to shoot.
See if they can try and set up Barker.
Key trying to get it to Barker. It was deflected by Burton, stolen away by the Catamounts. And the shot clock was let to run and expire.
They were trying to free her up because she's the only player who hasn't scored for Carolina that's gotten into the game. Brief little stint right before the end of the half, and now here.
Shot clock turned off, 19 seconds to play. Myers goes underneath. Western Carolina gets the last bucket as the clock hits 0, but this is an authoritative bounce-back victory for North Carolina coming off of the defeat against UConn.
From the opening tip, the North Carolina Tar Heels dominated this one in every single facet that you can look at in the stat book. Courtney Banghart